Hey, good evening. Map here, Map Investments, bringing you today's video for stocks and economic news. Um, Today after the bell, we had Chewy, uh, Lululemon, Lumina, and PVH. If I'm not mistaken, Chewy reported a profit. Let me see here. Shares of the pet product retailer rose 8% after the company reported fourth quarter results that topped analyst expectations. True reported earnings per share of 5 cents on revenue of 2.04 billion. Analysts surveyed by Refili, whatever, I don't know if said it right, expected losses per share of 10 cents on revenue of 1.96. I have a put credit spread $10 wide. I have the 80/70. I think I collected about $4. So that should be good because I think after hours Chewy was at 88. Yeah, 88. So it's up basically on the regular session it was up 2%, and in extended hours it was up 10.5%. So I'm looking good on that trade. I like them, and I think that's a trend that I don't think that trend is gonna go away. I think people have gotten in the habit and accustomed to ordering at least their dog food, the heavier bags on there, and just having it dropped doorstep instead of having to go to the store and carry a 30-pound bag or 40-pound bag, etc. That's just my opinion. I find it convenient. I do it for my dogs, and I don't think I'll change that routine. PVH, they're in the apparel business. I also have a put credit spread in here, since I've been seeing some uh, some apparel stocks like Gap and Limited Brands, and some other ones that have been doing okay. It says here shares of the closing company slid 1% after the company logged a fourth quarter revenue that missed analyst expectations. PVH posted a revenue of 2.09 billion. Analysts polled by Refinitiv predicted sales of 2.12 billion. The company lost an adjusted 38 cents per share, but it was unclear whether that was comparable with the forecast of a loss of 34 cents. After hours, they were down a little bit. It was kind of everywhere after hours, from down to 92 up to 104, and it closed at under 100. So hoping hoping it can continue an uptrend and I can make money on that spread. Lululemon was down almost 2%, and after hours they reported earnings. Shares dipped 0.7% even after the company reported better than expected fourth quarter result. The athletic wear retailer posted earnings per share of 258 and revenue of 1.73 billion. So that's a good name. Down a little bit. Illumina is a biotechnology company. Slid zero point 0.7 after hours, putting the stock on track to build on a 6.6 drop from the regular session. Lumina shares were under pressure on Tuesday after the Federal Trade Commission filed a complaint to block the company's acquisition of Grail, which makes tests for early cancer detection. The complaint alleges the deal would diminish innovation in the U.S. market for MSED tests. So this company got hit hard today. Let me look at the 6-month chart. Yeah, wow, this stock was at 505. This one might be getting a track. This is a big company. Might look at this one tomorrow. See how the options look in there. On the regular news front, top news, we got Biden to lay out infrastructure plans as part of economic proposal. When is he going to be talking about this? Tomorrow. Wonder what time this speech is at. Would be interesting. As you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I'm a big proponent for infrastructure plays. I know in the after hours, one of my faves, Cliff, have a couple of call debit spreads. In this name, it was up pretty strong in after hours to 1840. I think that has some decent earnings. Um, no news here, but I know that they did report some decent earnings. We'll get into the futures now. I just want to touch base on some of these infrastructure plays. Cliff News are trading higher after the company provided updated financial guidance. Sees Q1 EBITDA 500 million, Q2 adjusted EBITDA of 1.2 billion, fiscal year 21 adjusted EBITDA of 3.5 billion. So I guess the street likes their guidance and their numbers. Also says here, Cliff shares were trading higher amid strength in industrial metals, U.S. infrastructure hopes, as well as anticipation of economic rebound has lifted demand outlook for metals. So not only Cliff was good, but after hours, United Steels was just on a tear, up another 1.76 and up 9% on the regular session. So I have all kinds of stuff in United Steel, and I also have Nucor as well. I'm pretty overweight on these infrastructure plays. Nucor up almost 2%. Well, actually, probably almost 4% on the day. Regular hour 2.6, after hour 1.6. So yeah, I'm overweight these infrastructure plays. So okay, here it says about the infrastructure plan, but new taxes could come with it. I think it's for people make over 400,000, if I'm not mistaken. We shall get more details tomorrow. What other relevant news did we have today? Kramer says there's no reason for ARK's new space ETF to exist. Critics slam the Fed as home prices rise at historic rate. Yeah, this was pretty big news today. Home prices nationally in January were up 11% year over year, according to the latest S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Index. This is the largest annual gain in 15 years. As of last week, the Fed held 2.2 trillion of agency-backed securities. They've continued on autopilot. I don't think there's been any discussion within the Fed, said Peter, Chief Economist Officer at Beakley Advisory Group. Home price gains are accelerating at an alarming pace, fueled by COVID pandemic-related inflation, which some claim is not getting enough attention from the Federal Reserve. Home prices nationally in January rose 11.2 year over year. I already said that, largest in 15 years. As a comparison, annual price gains were 10.4 in December, 9.4 in November, 8.4 in October, 7 in September, 5.8 in August, 4.8 in July. In January 2020, the annual gain was 3.9, and the monthly moves were in small fractions, not whole percentage points. In more than 30 years of CoreLogic Case-Shiller data, January's year-over-year change is comfortably in the top decile. That strength is reflected across all 20 cities, noted Craig, Managing Director and Global Head of Index Investment Strategy at S&P Dow Jones Indexes. I don't know. January's price gains in every city are above that city's median level and rank in top quartile of all reports in 18 cities. The main reason home prices are now rising so quickly is the strong demand butting up against low supply. Bidding wars for homes are now the rule, not the exception. But mortgage rates are also playing a key role, one engineered by the Federal Reserve. While rates are rising slightly now, they are still near historic lows, having set more than a dozen new lows last year. Mortgage rates loosely follow a 10-year Treasury note, which went up today. The rates have been creeping up again. Mortgage rates are influenced by purchases and yields of agency mortgage-backed securities or MBS. These purchases provide the mortgage market with liquidity. The Fed have been tapering its purchases of MBS in order to normalize the market after the last recession, but it turned that taper around last March with the onset of the pandemic. It now owns more than a third. So the Fed owns a third of the mortgage-backed security market. And here's a chart of that. At the start of 19, the Fed held 1.6 trillion with a T MBS. It tapered down to 1.3 by mid-March of 2020. Then the economy and housing market were suddenly in COVID free fall. The central bank began buying more again. As of last week, the Fed held 2.2 MBS trillion. They've continued on autopilot. I don't think there's been any discussion within the Fed. The Fed's just afraid to change because they don't want it to be seen as a form of taking their foot off the pedal. The housing market in turn blasted off. Stay-at-home culture and pandemic hit consumers literally where they live, and demand for housing has yet to ease up. Low mortgage rates added fuel to the fire. A Fed spokesman declined to comment, says here. And it says here that they're pricing out. Well, I skipped a bunch of stuff, but anyways. Again, why the Fed still buying MBS? As home prices changes are not included in either CPI or PCE. The question is when and how this filters into imputed rent. But inflation is real for those looking to buy a home. The Fed again is responsible for pricing out first home buyers. The Fed declined to comment. So it's pretty tough. I know my brother-in-law, his neighbor was trying to sell his house. He sold it. It appraised. He got 530, but it only appraised for 475, and they were able to negotiate at 500. So 25,000 over the appraisal. That means they have to come out of pocket. 21 Senate Dems urge Biden to put reoccurring stimulus checks in recovery plan. That sounds like a little taste of universal basic income, UBI. What else we got here? I think that was the most prudent stuff for the day. We got the earnings. We got some of the economic news. I know this one came out. Amazon developing its own networking chip. It heard of Avago, AVGO. It's a pretty big chip maker. The SPACs have been cooling off. All right, let's take a look at the markets. So overseas are mixed. Chinese factory activity data for March ahead, and Hang Seng is up 225. Stocks futures are flat. The Dow slips from record levels. Remember, the Dow's in record territory, and now what's happening is each index is alternating on all-time highs. So I know the trading's been choppy, and been seeing a lot of comments on people saying they're not making money or that things aren't going their way. But one day the Dow Jones makes a high, and then it's the S&P, then it's the small caps, and then if it's not the Nasdaq. But I don't think, people need to adjust and allocate their portfolio accordingly. I don't think if interest rates are going to go high that the leader is going to be the Nasdaq. I mean, Amazon and Google and Facebook and the FANG names, they should do okay because they're big tech. But I don't think they're gonna outperform. I think on this new leg up to next levels, it's gonna be infrastructure plays, cyclicals, banks, industrial stuff like that. 10-year yield pulls back after hitting 14-month high in the morning trade. So right now, the 10 years at 1.73. Oil dips ahead of meeting between oil producing nations. Oil is at 60.65, and net gas is at 262. Gold got hit very hard today. Very, very hard. Very disappointed. It was one of my worst performing assets today. I did buy another contract today to add. I do add gold on dips. They could play their game on paper, but if you go try and buy physical, we could take a look at that and see what it looks like on the physical market, as well as silver. Silver is under 24 in the paper markets, and copper is under 4. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at what the physical is bringing. Let me find where is APMEX. Here you are. Let's see here. Gold. Let's start with gold. So let's shop gold products. And let's so this is a 2021 American Eagle. I like these. So let's see. So right now, can buy this for let's go back. All right, so 1886. 1886, and spot is 1886. What was spot at? 1685, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look here at the futures. 1680. 1680. 1886 minus 1680. So they have it. 1886 minus 1680. $200 over the paper price. 200 plus. Silver was under 23. 23.85 on the silver. We have the dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar. The dollar's on a rally. Incredible. I mean, and we're getting ready to just print trillions of dollars. Just don't get it. Maybe it's a short squeeze. That's the only thing I can see. I don't think it'll get over 94. We shall see. I was looking at the chart today, but we shall see. Let's take a look at the physical. Silver was 23.85. 23.85 silver. Silver products. No, don't want to do this right now. I just want an eagle. All right, so eagle right here. So they've dropped down the Eagles to 37 bucks, more or less. 37 bucks. 23.85 minus 37 bucks. So they're 13 bucks plus on the paper price, on the premiums from the spot. So that's pretty heavy. So anyways, yeah, gold got clobbered today. One of my worst positions, but I did add. Because I think that gold is the ultimate inflation hedge, and I think that's where people are gonna run to eventually. Currency's pretty mixed, even with the dollar stronger. Everything's green except the euro's down, the yen's down, the peso's down, and the franc is down. Bitcoin hanging around 60,000. Incredible. I don't get it, but it is what it is. PayPal up 87 cents today. Square up 565. So Square had a better day today. Let me get a little bit of water here. Sorry. So that was those are my Bitcoin correlated plays. E-bond up 70 cents. Oil we have mentioned about 60, 64, holding that 60 level. And after hours here in the futures, we have the S&P up 425 to 39.52. I want to say the all-time high on the S&P is, let's pull up the monthly chart. We probably hit it. Yeah. So we haven't hit 4K. 39.78 I think was the all-time high we hit. So we're close to it. And we'll probably see 4K here in not too far. In the distant future, we're going to see 4K. Gold, I mentioned, got hammered. I think you buy this dip. The meats were up today. Feeders, live cattle, and hog were up today. And I've been stating for a while already, we're going to start seeing higher prices in the supermarket. The grains did dip today. That's one thing. The grains were clobbered today, and they're pretty quiet in the after hour session right now. But they did get hit pretty hard. Like, I think soybeans was down 25. Corn was down, I think I want to say 10 at least, more or less. And wheat got hit. Everything got hit today because a stronger dollar hurts commodity prices. Small caps had a huge rally. I want to say they were up. Now they're up over 2,200. Let's go over here and see here. They were up today 37. They were the strongest of the bunch. They were up 37 today, 1.72%. And now they're back over. Now they're back over 2,200, up 10 after hours. Lumber was up again. Copper, I told you, was under 4. NASDAQ at 12.9, having trouble getting over that 13K level. And the Dow Jones is hovering around 33,000 almost. Platinum and palladium up a little bit. Silver we looked at, down. VIX up a smidge. And the bonds are down, meaning rates are a little higher. Order-wise, what did I do today in my orders? So as you can see here, I bought another contract at 1680 to averaging on my futures on gold. I have several contracts, and these contracts have 50 days or more. Silver, I rolled a put out to give me more time. Roku got upgraded today, and I did a put credit spread in Roku. I think Roku's floor might be 300, so that's what I did. I did a 300 to 95 put credit spread before the earnings for $1.95. I added to my soybeans. I had mentioned yesterday Kato's, a defense play, and it went over that buy point. So I did a put credit spread right in the money. Stock has been trading pretty strong as of late, and I need a little bit more defense exposure. So decided to go with this one because it's been trending very nicely. So I did a put credit spread out in May with 52 days to go. It might be in the earnings cycle. I did a put calendar in the XLU. Usually utilities tend to not fare well in higher interest rate environments, so I'm kind of leaning towards that way. That's that trade. Nothing big. It was 55 cents per contract per strategy per spread, calendar spread. GDX, I bought a call out in time for it to go back up. What did I do? I did just a small calendar in Gilead. It was upgraded today at the 70 call strike. DXC was also upgraded, and I did the 35 call for 70 cents. GDXJ, another call out in time. I just bought the call. FCX, one of my favorite copper plays. I did another calendar. I did a calendar in Energy, XLE, and another calendar in DXC for 85 cents. So those were my trades today. Some put credit spreads, couple futures, couple single calls, and a couple calendars. Let's take a look at a bar chart. See what was bucking the trend, or see if we could pick up on some themes here. Apple was down. I did see a lot of the EV car makers. They were doing pretty good today. They were all pretty much up. NIO, Tesla, Viacom bounced back. Planeteer has not done much, been pretty stuck. Facebook pulled back a little bit, so did AMD. Some of these China names bounced back. Baidu bounced back. Bank of America was up because rates were higher, so a lot of the banks were up. United Steel was strong. American Airlines and Airlines did well. Ford was up a little bit. Microsoft hurt. GameStop, I don't get. So it was more green today, as you can see. 10-cent music was good for me. I've been selling puts in there. DraftKings up, General Motors, Boeing. Not a lot of red. Amazon was red. No, I don't want to. What happened here? All right. Baba was red. Carnival up a little bit. We talked about Square. Snapchat. I need Snapchat higher. I need it higher. It's not trading too good. Plug did okay today. This thing has been annihilated. Fubo TV down to $21. GSX, another China name. Chewy did great after hours. Riot is a Bitcoin name. Twitter, pretty quiet. Maybe forming a base for the next leg up. Vips, a China name. Nvidia down. Barrick Gold down. JP Morgan up a little bit. Delta up a little bit. Well, Delta was up pretty good. Sorry. JD, another Chinese name up. United up. Cliff up. Moderna vaccine down. Oh, here's another EV maker out of China. XPEV. I remember people were telling me it was going to go to 150. Yeah, sure. FedEx has been doing pretty good. That's the one to keep an eye on. That's been pretty good. Jamia bounced back 11% today. It's pretty low. It's $35. Can is like a Bitcoin in Asia. Roku we talked about. Did a put credit spread. Visa might be a value play, but they have some investigations with the DOJ. Morgan Stanley up okay. CrowdStrike is a good technology security play. So it's pretty a pretty mixed. Costco's down. It's a consumer staple. Caterpillar up. What else here? Home Depot up a little bit. Starbucks, Penn. So it was a pretty decent day. Today was a profitable day, and I guess tomorrow will be all eyes on the infrastructure bill and see how Biden rolls that out. And I think that's pretty much it. I think I covered all the stocks, the market trends. Like the video, share it, comment below on any request, and share the video. Try to help me grow the channel. I would appreciate it. Have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.